Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen with me, Torp Rasilo, and welcome to Total Ship Show. Basically from now on, I'm going to start separating the content in the channel out a little bit. So instead of having everything sort of random, there's going to be a bit more differentiation of content. So from now on, we're going to try and do Total Ship Show every Monday where we talk about ships. So as you can see in the video behind, I'm here at Orison, and today we're going to have a look back at the Invictus Launch Week. As you can see on the poster there, isn't Orison beautiful? I do like it. Look at the leaves coming off the trees and the way they get blown by the wind and the lighting, and it's all fantastic. I wish it didn't run at 25 frames a second or whatever it is, but I really like Orison. It's a fantastic place. The other problem is it takes so long to get down there and so long to get back up from there that nobody ever goes there. So that is another problem, but I really like it. And then coming soon, as you can see, as you see the video, just looking up, there's a tower behind there with Crusader on the back, and just at the top of that tower you can see in some of the shots a shuttle. In fact, you can see it there. It's just docking. So there's going to be an event soon, a first-person shooter event called the Siege of Orison, and you're going to be able to go up that tower, get one of those shuttles and go off to an area where there is a Ninetales attack on Orison, and then you'll be able to participate in that event. So I'm really looking forward to that happening, and hopefully lots of people go to Crusader to take part in that. Now, as you may have guessed, I'm not recording this video and speaking to you at the same time. I previously recorded this video to show you the launch week and the new ships and Crusader Day at the Invictus Launch Week, but unfortunately something happened to the audio and you couldn't hear it. So I've taken the opportunity to do something I don't very often do, which is just to play the video and then to overdub my thoughts over the top. So before we get started, before we go any further, can I please ask you, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. You just click the subscribe button below the video there. It really does help get us promoted, and then you'll find out first, more than anybody else, about new content coming up. And also, if you like this video, and even if you don't like it, please could you click the like button and like the video. So we're just waiting here for the shuttle. Oh, that's green circle there. That is the place where that's the hab basically here at Orison. So that is where you wake up when you have arrived at Orison and logged out and logged back in again. I always like to sit down on the shuttle. I know people like to run up and down. I think one of the things that I find very bizarre in Star Citizen is that how people could just constantly run everywhere, run around, and even when they're waiting for something, they're constantly moving and running around. And I think that comes from games like Fortnite. Everybody's got used to the fact that you can't stand still in a game. You have to constantly be moving, and it's very annoying when you're just standing there and everyone's legging it around waiting for a shuttle. Anyway, we're on the shuttle, and the way to get to the Invictus Launch Week was to go to the spaceport and then get another shuttle from there. So while we're taking these various journeys here on the shuttles, I'll just explain a little bit about what Invictus Launch Week is for anybody who's new to Star Citizen. Maybe you've missed it this year. Maybe you didn't get over there even though you tried the free fly week, or maybe you just don't really understand what it's all about. So traditionally Star Citizen has had an event in November every year, which is called IAE, or the International Aerospace Expo. And at that event every year, they basically do what they call a ship sale. So this is a sale where things are on sale as opposed to where things are sale cheaper than they normally are. So nothing is cheaper. In fact, often they're more expensive, but all of the ships go on sale. So every year in November, IAE, International Aerospace Expo, every ship that's available, flyable in Star Citizen, some of the concept ships and also some limited ships go on sale, and you can go along, try them all out because they're all available for rent, and then you can buy any that you want to buy, and there's war bond offers and all this kind of stuff, which we won't go into now. For most of the rest of the year, most of those ships are not available to buy. Star Citizen, Robert Space Industries, for whatever reason, chooses to limit when they sell the majority of these ships. So we now have a new event, and this event started a couple of years ago. I think this is the third one, and it's called Invictus Launch Week, and it's basically the same sort of thing as IAE. The difference being that Invictus is entirely about military ships. So rather than all of the ships in Star Citizen being available on sale, the Invictus Launch Week, the only ships on sale at Invictus Launch Week are ships that are military ships or that have some kind of purpose in military world. So, for example, the Mercury Star Runner is on sale. Oh look, there's an 890 jump there, docked. Haha, amazing! One of the largest ships in the game, and a limited ship. So that's one of the limited ships. Oh, and it's gone. That's one of the limited ships we talked about before that's only available for purchase in very limited quantities, and they usually go on sale at a certain time on a certain day of the show. Anyway, so getting back to Invictus Launch Week, yes, so ships like the Mercury Star Runner are available at Invictus Launch Week, and you wouldn't actually think of that as a military ship. Because it's a data runner and because it can transport, it's obviously used as a military ship by some areas of the military. So it's classed in that. So basically, there's 2 of these ship shows every year, 2 of these events where you can try and buy ships, because at all of them, everything that's on display that's flyable is available to rent. So you get 48 hours of time with that ship. So as you can see, we'll go back to the video. You can see we're approaching the location now, and far out there in the distance there's a big glowing something, and that is the new convention centre that they've built here at Orison, especially for this event. Up till now, this event has been held at New Babbage, and then this year it's moved here to Orison. Personally, I wish they'd moved back to New Babbage. It was a much better location to spend a week at and to do other things from and to go to the show. I don't like the length of time it takes to get out here to the show hall, and I don't like the length of time it takes to get up and down from Port Olisar to Orison. It's just very long-winded. I love Orison, but it's just very long-winded. For some kind of event like this, I just don't think it's the right thing to do. So I'd be very pleased if they went somewhere else with it next year, and with IAE as well. So we've arrived at the show hall, and the first thing you'll see when you arrive at the show hall is that they've done a great job branding it all up. It looks like any kind of convention you may go to for anything in real life. So for all intents and purposes, this is a real life convention. It's just that it's virtual. Nice banners, a lovely design of convention centre for the outside bit, and quite different to ones we've had before. We've had events before. I think the first one of these was at ArtCorp, then it was at New Babbage, now it's here at Orison. We've also had IAE at ArtCorp and IAE at Lawville. But I think this is one of the nicest external areas of a convention centre. This rock statue's always on display. Just getting a quick selfie there, obviously, with the rock statue. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this is one of the... Oh, don't I look handsome? Nice bit of Ninetales looted armour there. Thought I'd show that off. Got to wear the right stuff on the show hall, you know. You've got to be seen to be doing the right thing. Come on, get on with the video. Anyway, let's get on with the video. When you arrive, you'll see this on either side of the entranceway. There are shops, so this is one of the shops, and they're on display and for sale is merchandise, so you can buy yourself a jacket or a t-shirt or a hat or something like that. Nice little souvenirs, actually, that stay with you, so you know you'll keep them for a while and then they'll be part of your inventory. I'm not sure that they'll stay at the moment because everything's getting wiped, but eventually when the actual Star Citizen actually becomes a launched game, obviously you'll keep the things indefinitely. And then each day, as you can see on the poster that was briefly behind me there, it was just saying that on each day a different manufacturer is coming to the show hall. So today is Crusader Day, which is one of my favourite days because I really like Crusader ships. I have 3 at the moment. I have a C2 Hercules, Mercury Star Runner and an Ion. And you'll see some of those now as we go up to the show hall, because actually all of those are on display, even though it's military week. They all have some kind of place. Now, these show halls are exactly the same pretty much as they were last year at New Babbage, which is a bit of a disappointment, but they are nicely designed, and it's quite a nice way to see all of the ships. And you'll see here on the display as you go in, tells you where each ship is located, so you can go off and find the one that you're interested in straight away without having to wait too long. So you can see today we've got Crusader, Starlifter, we've got some MISC ships, we've got the Tumbril Nova tank on display, and there's Mercury Star Runners. 2 of those, for some reason, they obviously needed to fill up a room. And then there's a couple of concept ships there down at the bottom, the Tumbril Ranger and the MISC Odyssey, and we'll probably go and see those later on. So yeah, first of all, here's the Herculeses. So you can see this one on the right here is the C2 Hercules, which I own. This one on the left here is the M2 Hercules. You can see has that extra turret at the front. That's the main difference there. Other than that, it's just slightly less cargo in the M2 Hercules, but it has a more armoured body. So in the extra turret, because of course it's the military variant. But I do love my C2 Hercules. I was considering upgrading to Karak, but no, I'm going to stick with the C2. And then at the back here is the A2 Hercules, so same as the M2 Hercules, but with extra gun turrets, as you can see here, remote control gun turrets, and also it drops bombs. So inside there is a bombing station, which takes up some of the room, so even less cargo capacity there on the A2. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the A2. It's very expensive. And it's got less cargo capacity, I think. And if you want a bomber, you probably want Eclipse or something. Yeah, it seems strange. So here's the Tumbril tank, which is the only sort of tank type vehicle in the game. There is the Ballista, which is a missile launching platform, but this is the only sort of armoured tank type of vehicle. As you can see, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle at these shows to get past the rent to open one of the vehicles, because it just keeps saying, do you want to rent me? And I've already rented it. So we'll have a little look inside, if obviously I can get the back of it open. I'm pretty sure I did, so I must have just struck lucky at some point. The tank is really nice. Oh, we're going to a different one. There we go. So yeah, the tank's really nice inside. They've done a really good job. It's very modern. I really like the design of the seating at the front of the tank here. The chairs look fantastic. It feels fantastic when you're sat in it. It's a really nice driving position. It looks, I like all of the design of the dashboard. I think this is the current gold standard. This is where things should be, with sort of the physicalized buttons and everything, as well as the screens. I hope all of the ships go to this sort of standard at some point, where you've kind of pressing buttons with a name on them, rather than just hovering over a button which lights up with a glowing name, which is, to me, is just not quite as nice. And then this is the gunner's seat, so when you're actually driving and shooting missiles, you'll be able to see where you pointed the missiles here when you're at the gunner's seat. But for now, we're just not able to do that in the convention hall. So let us get out of the seat again. Are we going to get out of the seat? Yes, we are going to get out of the seat. Excellent. So we should go and have a look at some other ships, see what's here. Again, totally recommend, if you have not got any of these vehicles and you're umming and ahhing about whether to buy them, wait for IAE in November when they go on sale again. Anyway, you'd have to wait till then to buy them, but wait till IAE in November and give them a try. Rent as many of them as you want, give them a try, see how they work for you, because I can tell you that quite a few vehicles I have tried over the years thinking that they would be fantastic, and then really not got on with them at all and not bought them. And then other vehicles, such as the Redeemer. So I really didn't like the look of the Aegis Redeemer when it first came out. I thought, oh no, I don't like that at all. It looks awful. I don't like the weird wheels. I'm definitely not interested in that. And it was quite expensive. And I did a test of it. I did a rental and I flew it around a bit, and actually I really liked it. And I ended up upgrading to a Redeemer because it just was a really, really cool ship, and it was a really nice ship. Unfortunately, since then, they decided to make it fly like a brick. So you can't really recommend buying the Redeemer at the moment. And again, if you want to see, wait till IAE and give it a try yourself. So this is the MISC Hall. So MISC is another manufacturer. This is a freelance, is it a DER or is it a freelance MIS? Okay, I think it's a MIS. I click on it and we'll find out. Yeah, I think this is a freelancer MIS. Freelancer MIS. Yeah, so this is the weaponized, a more weaponized variant, the military variant of the freelancer, which is a great starter ship if you want to get started and do cargo hauling straight off. The standard freelancer is a great ship. I had one for a while, really enjoyed playing with it. Until I upgraded it to something else. And this beast here, which is probably one of the most ugly ships in the game and one that I think needs a massive redesign, is the Starfarer, the MISC Starfarer. And it's supposed to be ugly because it's a utilitarian ship. So this is a refueling ship, and you can see here at the back there's all of the refueling tanks and the refueling boom arm, and this has just come into the game in the 3.17 patch, introducing refueling as something you can do. So the Starfarer's sort of had some upgrades in terms of getting this boom arm put on and all of the refueling stuff being put into operation. But it's still an ugly ship. I really don't like it. It's only got this ramp to get in and out as far as I'm aware, and I don't really like that. I think a ship of this size not having an entrance and exit elevator of some description is just crazy. Having to go in and out through the cargo bay at the back of the ship is crazy. But again, this ship is not really designed for doing general missions. It's a ship designed with one purpose, and that purpose is refueling. So if you don't want to go out and do refueling, I wouldn't recommend getting this ship. And certainly if you only have one ship, I wouldn't recommend that this is the ship that you get. But if you want to have a big collection of ships and you want to have a dedicated refueling ship, then obviously this is the ship for you, as it is currently the only refueling ship that's flyable in the game. So here we have the Mako. This is the Mako. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these. Those sort of wing ships that they rotate round and then they rotate back to land. I've never been a fan of them, so I'm not going to talk about them anymore. And this is the Razor, which is a racing ship. There you go. It's surveillance and extraction, it says, but they've been used quite a lot for racing. Quite a nice little thing, but again, not a huge amount of use unless you just want something to whiz around with. Yeah, again, for me, not much use in the game right now, but nicely designed little ship. I think with a lot of these ships that have been out for a while that don't have a particularly great purpose, they probably have a purpose in the single player game Squadron 42, which is coming because Robert Space Industry have, or CIG rather, have prioritised making the ships that they need for Squadron 42. So I think we'll find things like the Razor being important in those games. I think we'll find that coming to the fore later on when that game is released. So not a huge amount of use for them now in Star Citizen, unless you have a use for it. If you do, I mean, let me know. Yeah, each to his own. You may have a brilliant use, like I have a great use for the Drake Herald, which is literally to get from Orizon to Port Olisar and back. Best ship in the game for getting in and out of atmosphere very quickly. So, speaking of best ship in the game, here is, for me, arguably the best fighter in the game. These things are absolutely fantastic. Now, I appreciate they've been nerfed. So, while they were stunningly good at fighting everything when they first came out, CIG has felt it necessary to tone them down, which is really unfortunate because I think they were really well balanced for what they are and what they're supposed to be. And I think a lot of this nerfing and toning down of these has been done to appease owners of small fighters who want to be able to fight everything. And they don't want these things coming along and popping them out at a distance, which is what was happening with sniping from these. And I understand that to a certain extent, but this is silly because it's made a ship that was designed to be a large, heavy fighter that can shoot things at a distance and stopped it from being able to do its job, which is really unfortunate. However, for me, the Ares Ion is still one of the nicest fighters to fly in the whole game. It still works very well. It's still good for bounty hunting. It's not as good as it was, but I would still recommend anybody trying it out. So here's the Mercury Star Runner. Again, I think this is my favourite ship in the game. Have one of these Mercuries. We'll do a whole episode where we go over the Mercury in detail. But for now, yeah, Mercury Star Runner. Supposed to be a data running ship. It's also good as an introductory cargo hauler. And for me, I just love the design. The design of it is fantastic. And if you can get crew, so if you've got you and 2 other people, then you've got guns that you control plus 2 turrets that the others can control, so it makes it a nice little fighting ship as well. And if you upgrade the shields and everything, then it becomes a lot better. But yes, I could totally recommend the Mercury Star Runner to anybody who wants to upgrade from a smaller sort of starter or medium starter ship like the Freelancer up to something a bit bigger that can also do. The great thing about the Mercury is it can do everything in the game. So it can do a bit of bounty hunting, can do cargo running, can do package delivery. It can do everything, looting, anything that's currently in the game. You can use the Mercury Star Runner for. It can hold a ground vehicle like the Ursa Rover or the Mule, and it can deliver that, so you can do the bunker missions that you need a ground vehicle for, etc. So these are the Tumbrel Cyclone. I used to have one, don't really like it very much, but if you just want a ground vehicle to go backwards and forwards to a bunker, then Cyclone's a good choice. Doesn't have any cargo capacity, so a bit useless if you want to loot. Personally, for me, I like a C2 with a Spartan. That's my ground vehicle of choice for doing any kind of bunker mission with looting. I've also done a video where I use the Mule to do a bunker, so if you keep looking later this week, you'll see that one come out. Not too bad, but I still prefer the Spartan, and the Ursa Rover would be my other choice. If you have a ship that can't fit a Spartan in, take an Ursa Rover to do bunker missions that you can't land at the bunker because the bunker's going to shoot you down. Most bunker missions you won't need to do that. Now, sorry, I'm missing what's going on the screen, which is the Misk Odyssey. And this is a large exploration ship which is going to be coming probably, we think, later this year, probably at IAE later this year. It's likely that this ship will come into the game. It may not. It may be with Pyro early in 2023. But I think that CIG's intention is to have the Misk Odyssey available when Pyro becomes live, because we will need these kind of large exploration ships for going off into Pyro and going around that system. Thank you very much. That's me, Torp Rasilo, signing off, and I'll see you next time.